The door to the abandoned banya opens with a shrill creak. After that, the old building is silent, waiting for the ritual to begin. You can only guess how this ritual will end. Some fitting spells come to mind. However, none of them were made to free changelings. Your heart skips a beat when you look upon the unknown, dim as the dark interior of a stove. You start with a usual summoning Zagavr, hoping that Nikolai's bride will answer you. Perhaps you'll just have to give her all of the requisite items. The Zagavr soon comes to an end, and the changeling girl stands before you.
We brought the things we promised. Soon you'll be free.
The girl tries to say something, but an unintelligible whisper is all that escapes her lips. Her entire figure seems tinged with smoke.
What's going on? We can't understand you.
The girl covers her mouth. Her figure screams despair. Tears drip from her empty eye sockets. You whisper an old Zagavr, and you finally understand what she's saying. Her voice calls to you, as if from far away.
The one called Banik dwells in darkness. She wouldn't let the accursed children go. The stove, the fire, the boiling water, the flayed skin. These are the keys to her domain. I am the third from the left, and all that is colored with blood. Mind you, that...
The girl doesn't manage to finish the sentence. She is engulfed with flames and clouds of steam. The shelves fall over when a hole to the ethereal world opens like a maw.
So what now? We enter the abyss?
The entrance to the underground burns with unbearable heat. You recall this happening when you stepped into the maw of the Hellhound. This time, old Yegor isn't around. Your confidence in your ability to get out is also nowhere to be found. You tell Nikolai to wait for you in the banya, and step inside. The world flashes with blinding heat. You're familiar with the feeling of passing between worlds. However, once again, even on this, your third time, it sweeps over you like a sudden gale and slams you mercilessly to the ground. When you come to, you're surrounded by a ringing silence. Nikolai lies at your side. He too is stunned from the teleportation, but is already coming to his senses. He obviously didn't listen to your instructions.
Kolya, are you alright? I told you to wait in the banya.
But I couldn't just leave you like that alone. I can keep it together now, I think.
Well, the more the merrier, I suppose. Anyway, there's no way back now. Follow me.
Such a fearsome girl. You'd better stay behind me.
Don't get yourself killed. What did the girl say again? The stove, the fire, the boiling water, flaying the skin. Are the keys to her domain. What did the girl say? The stove, are the keys. What did the girl say again? The stove, the fire, the boiling water, flaying the skin are the keys to her.
You continue your journey into the domain of the Abdiricha. Nikolai tags along, constantly glancing around. You don't blame him, for you are also alarmed. And suddenly, it seems you are right to be. A couple of chorts bar your way. The defeated chorts vanish into the thick subterranean shadows. You move further along the grim corridors. Nikolai follows you. You notice he's clenching the cross taken from the Ikotnitsa. His knuckles are white, and his hands shiver, but his eyes are full of determination. One tight corridor leads to another. The lower you go, the harder it is to breathe. Your path is lit only by burning embers and the scattered rays of the dawn coming from the human world somewhere above. It seems this journey will never end when suddenly a black figure bars your way.
Who's sneaking around there in the dark? We can smell you. We can. Reeks of life will clean you up. Get rid of stinking skin as well.
Greetings to you, Bannock hostess. Be so kind as to let us stay here, down below.
Hear us out, Banyak dear!
Invite ourselves, we did. I am the mistress here. Can't order me around, can you? Can you? What brings you here, down below?
They say Bannocks rule over the Aspen demons. Is it true?
Why do you want to know? Why? So what if it's true? Maybe not. What then? We want to ask something else. What brings you here, down below?
Why do you steal Christian children? Why don't you let them go?
Who steals children? Who steals children? These are my children. It's quiet here in the dark. It's quiet here in the dark. We're doing just fine here without you living ones. What brings you here, down below?
We came to ask for your daughter's hand. I have a young groom, you have a fine bride. Can we bring them together?
No! There's no brights here below! Only embers. Embers burn? Warm old bones.
Yeah? Who burned my arm then? An ember shaped like a hand?
A mark! A mark! A seal on the hand! You find it out. Figure it out.
Well, give us the girl. We know she's here.
All right. Have it your way. We'll show you a bride. Not one, even not one. Choose the one that's yours. You chose wrong. You'd stay here. Here to stay. I'll spin your hair on a rake, then take off your skin.
What should we do, Asha? They all look alike.
You remember what the changeling said in the banya? I am the third from the left, and all that is colored with blood. She tried to say something else, but vanished.
Well, I can choose on my own, I guess. After all, I'm to live with her.
Let me guess who the real one is here.
You chose. Guessed it. You got lucky. Probably just lucky. How are they lucky? Why?
We've chosen the bride. Now let her go.
Give her back? Our girl? No. We can't let her go, can we? No, a bride needs a dowry, right? Yes, I'll give you the dowry. I will. Choose the right one, and we'll let the girl go. Choose the right one.
These chests all look lush. What are we to do?
What'd your bride tell us? I am the third from the left, and all that is colored with blood. Well, we choose the third one from the left.
These demons sure are cunning.
Let me choose a fine one for you.
You chose. You guessed it. But how? The girl told you. You couldn't guess any other way.
You promised to give us our bride if we guessed right.
You did, but you shouldn't have. Right? No. You won't live here alive. No. I'll flay your skin as a lesson.
You promised to give us the bride.
I will. Right after I take your skin.
riddles. Give us the girl.
No, no! She's mine! Mine! And now you're mine too.
Give us the bride and we'll leave.
No, no, never!
Quickly, we have to make it. Did you bring what I asked you to?
Here is the belt and the cross. And your name is?
I can't believe it. Am I free?
Yes, the demons can't hurt you now. It's dangerous to stay here. The place is unclean, not to mention all the logs flying around. Let's go to our spa. We'll talk there.
All right. and the banitsa vanished. And here I am.
What a tale! Well, Kolya, you sure got lucky. Sure did find me a fine maiden, a pretty one.
Come on, old Yegor. Don't be like that.
Ah, don't worry, I'm not trying to curse you or anything.
I don't know what to do now.
So, Kolya, are you going to make good on your word?
I sure am. I'm doing it all by the book, nice and proper. But where would the matchmakers go?
I remember the village the Abdiricha stole me from. I remember the minute you freed me. I lived in Pakcha. My relatives still live there. Send the matchmakers there. Though I need to go there with Vasilisa first. You'll find your Aspen demon there.
Remember I asked you to question the Abduricha about an Aspen demon?
She switched me with an Aspen chort, it turns out. This chort now lives with my family, with my mother and father.
That's where we'll go. That's the kind of demon I need.
Good, I remember the way.
She's gone. I doubt she can follow you.
It's not so easy to get rid of her. Soon she'll revive in the dark. She can't die. I'm not entirely in the human world, to tell the truth. Until I'm married, she can bring me back.
Are you still alive after 18 years?
Nothing to it, really. Wherever the Banya stove is lit, we're with her. Her mind has grown weak, sort of. She's rather old, but she's also taught me things. She's taught me quite a bit. I am an ogre myself, to a certain extent.
Let's go then.
Hello to you, witch! The talk of the West is that you're a powerful knower, so I came to you. I brought some bread. It's stale, but it's all I have. There's an Yerknik in our cemetery terrorizing the entire area. She died, you see, but hadn't passed on her shorts. You know how it goes.
Very well. I'll drop by when I'm near.
I still wonder how word gets out in the land of Perm. I traveled to Vilgord. No one fears me like they used to anymore. Must have heard that I transferred the power to you.
So why weren't you killed at the crossroads?
Ha! So, the fiends circled around me. Well, I think that's it. We'll meet Timofey soon. Then, I see one demon wearing a red hat. So I grabbed it. Then, everything froze. Turns out, the hat was changed to him. The demons went round and round, glaring at me with their fiery eyes. And their leader says, "Return the hat, I'll do anything." He could bring back my brother, though. I asked him then, "Where do you come from, you accursed demons?" And what do you know? Prokopy, the holy fool, sent them for me as a sort of a sacrifice. It wasn't the master of the forest who helped him, but demons all along. The children who disappeared in Vilgord were also his doing. He fed them all to his chords, Timofey among them. Devil curse Prokopy's soul. If I ever see him in hell, even there I'll try to curse him. I'll make sure he suffers. I will.
What did you do with the chorts?
Send them to kill Prokopy. In the end, everyone thought he had drank one too many. But it was my chorts. That's not the end of it. But I'm tired. Next time I will tell you about the Black Book.
Why would the Banya bride need these sort of things?
I reckon it's the only way she can get out of the ethereal world. She needs things from the human world. You see, there's no living man without a cross, a belt, and a name. This girl never had any of that.
Feels like it was all in a dream.
I felt this way also, when I first stepped into the ethereal world.
I feel as if I've been asleep for all my life.
They say the changelings learn a lot from evil spirits.
That's true. The Banning's been teaching me. Urged me on with burning coals, so I would learn better. Well, now I know quite a bit.
Like a witch?
Well, maybe not like a witch. I'm nowhere close to you. I know a thing or two, though, about herbs, talismans, and so on. Maybe I'll help you sometime.
Were the other children with you?
There were. Not for long, though. The ones that you saw were made by the Abdiricha out of coals. But there were others. If a woman giving birth curses her child, or if somebody doesn't ask for permission to come in, the Abdiricha tried to lure them in. Always had some coals, shaped as toys or candy, in her hands. So when the child came close, she grabbed it.
Where are those other children?
That's the thing. Not everyone lives through it. Some are strangled by chords, some perish from sadness. I had friends, you know.
How does it feel to finally be in a human house?
It's exactly the way I imagined it. A different world entirely. There used to be undead, darkness, but here, there's life.
Let's go. We'll talk later.
You have goosebumps, a sign of a devilish presence. You look around. Your only companion is humming among the silence. Suddenly, a dark figure steps out from the shade. It is a scribe, a Zagavr dealer.
Wisdom will enter your heart and be good for your soul.
You hear the loud cries of an infant coming from the woods. Is this a demon's trick or an actual child? You can't tell from here. You see a defenseless infant lying between the branches of a split tree. There are some gifts for the Leshy nearby. It seems that the peasants left their child in hopes that he would be cured of a disease. As a rule, the baby is left for several days in a forest in the hope of a miracle. You know well that the Leshy won't bother to help the child get well. This infant won't survive the night out here on its own. You think about what to do next. You bring the child to the closest village and steal the Leshy's gifts. You get lucky and quickly find the child's parents. You explain to them the dangers of such treatment and tell them to come to you for advice and herbs. The parents look scared, and it seems that they've learned their lesson. It seems the witch doctor expected your visit. She must have learned about it from her chorts. Her entire house is filled with fragrant, dried herbs. It seems this is the place to buy some useful ones.
You're not what we consider an average girl, are you? In that case, I'll show you some fine wares. Here, take a look.
You notice a familiar silhouette of the wooden church among the branches. You decide to come inside and rest a bit from the long road. When you come closer, you understand that this church has been long since abandoned. The windows are boarded up, and here and there you can see holes in the walls, as black as empty eye sockets. You can't overcome your curiosity and push on the mossy door. After a moment, your eyes adjust to the darkness. You take several steps forward. Old wooden planks creak beneath your feet. You feel extremely uneasy. A familiar feeling that suggests that this rotten corpse of a holy place is now a dwelling for evil spirits. You barely have enough time to draw a circle before grotesque, demonic shadows emerge from the dark corners. At night, the roads of Perm province are not the safest of places for the common folk. This time, it is not demons that block your path, but rather 3 highwaymen. Broshka approaches the bandits and, with a human voice, casually asks for a smoke. The bandits flee to the forest in horror. You enter an old moonlit cemetery. Wooden tombstones are half broken. They stand in the dark like a squad of silent soldiers, each one staring at you blindly. You remember that this is the cemetery where the old hag Manka was buried. She was a famous witch Ikotnik. You search the silent cemetery and feel your skin crawl, a sign that evil spirits are nearby. One of the graves is dug up, as if by a wild beast. You come closer. You almost fall over, but hold on to an old cross. Immediately, you realize that the old witch left her demons inside the crucifix. You finally reach the changeling bride's home village. Houses are scattered among grim firs. You feel the presence of evil spirits, and the book also seems to tremble with anticipation. You soon find the Izba, where the presence of evil spirits is strongest. As you approach, you hear the shrill cries of a baby coming from inside. The bride bites her lip and shifts from one foot to the other. You sigh. You'll need to make the first move.
Who goes there? My baby can't sleep. Who are you girls? What do you need?
Your child is a demon. See for yourself. The Abderiha's changeling lies in the cradle, looking exactly like a human baby. How can I make him show his true form?
You begin to whisper a prayer, but the child is not calming down. The Banya bride quickly walks up to the baby and tosses it over her shoulder.
Christ's kingdom, what are you doing, you witch?
Take a look at who you're raising.
The crying baby turns into a piece of wood.
Step aside. Hide over the stove.
As soon as the mother and daughter climb above the stove, the log attacks you. The bride tells her mother who she is. They hug. You can only guess how it feels to lose 18 years of your life. At the same time, the log turns into black smoke and sweeps into the black book. You feel dizzy. The world turns around you in a violent gale, disappearing in flames. Everything becomes dark.
Impressive. In only a week's time, the first seal is gone. All that's left is to open the seal. As I told you, you are very talented.
So what do I do now? Where do I find the next evil spirit?
You can't figure this out yourself. Others have spent years, decades even, just to break one seal. The next seal, as you know, is of water. I imagine it won't be difficult to find Evagenoi. Not in your neck of the woods.
What happened to that log? Why was it sucked into the book?
Surely you don't think you get your wishes for free. You must feed the fire. Some spirits just vanish, absorbed by the book. Others possesses power enough to break the seal.
Who did it before me?
People of greatness who became greater when they reached the end of the Black Book. The Black Book makes wishes come true. It can be used in many ways. You should think about how you can use it.
Why are the seals blocked with passes? Was the book written by the people of Perm?
Nothing of the sort. The book changes, adapts. I think the book has been testing you. If you could not figure out the primitive symbols of the truths, you would be unworthy of it.
Who are you and why do you drag me into this hole? Why shouldn't I feed you to my book?
And lose such an invaluable helper. All of your Zagavars. It is I who empower them. They would not be as strong without me in your service. You will learn the nature of such things in time.
It's time for me to return to the light.
Is that all you wished to ask me? Very well. You may go. We will meet again when you break the water seal. I would, however, think carefully on the subject of our next chat if I were you. Me being such a priceless assistant.
Wake up, Vasya! Vasilisa!
Grandpa?
Well, have you come to your senses? How did you end up here? A minute ago, no one was here.
You tell old Yegor about your meeting with the Chort.
So the second seal is gone. Now it's time for a water one. Good job, Vasya. Good job. We might actually make it. Well, you rest a bit now, before your next task.
Well met. Is this the house of old Igor?
That's right. What brings you here?
Here, I brought a gift for you. Salt. Hear me out, please. I'm from Ust-Barovsk. I have a salt factory there. I'm Pahom Nikolaevich, the manager. My business is quite serious. I need to speak to you eye to eye.
You need to speak to Vasilisa. She's the one in charge here now.
A knower girl? That's a dangerous job.
No such thing as a safe job. Everything is as God wills it.
It is as you say. God abandoned our salt works. One day there's some noise in the salt oven. Another, some shadows near the salt boxes.
So what? I see nothing strange. These things happen all over the gubernia.
This is true. However, there was no brine at first. And the other day some workers went missing. It's been several days. The police don't care. They say they'll be back. I've already organized my own guards. I myself saw a kind of shadow near the barns. It disappeared the moment I saw it. I was told you can help me deal with spirits, and so I came here.
Tell me about your salt works.
It isn't close. A factory near Ust-Urolka. We do everything there. Extract the brine and load the permianko onto the barges. Permianka is what we call our salt. Accidents happen, can't avoid them. But we never had to deal with demons.
You said the salt started to disappear.
For half a year we had little to no salt. Disasters, one after the other. But we held on. Now we struck brine. Workers have gone missing.
Tell me, Pahom Nikolaevich, how people went missing.
A week ago we hit brine. It just started gushing out, so we started working it, day and night. Filled all the salt boxes. I put Alexei from Gorodishevo on the night shift. He went missing. People said he went on a binge. The local doctor says he's an alcoholic. And then Pyotr went missing, also on the night shift.
Did you try to figure out who is kidnapping these people?
Yes. On the third day, I sent a couple of strong men, myself among them. All was quiet at first, and then, at night, some sort of shadow appeared. Trishka called out to it, but it started thrashing about. I still get chills thinking about it. I crossed myself, and the shadow ran to the barn, or to the oven, or to the salt box, I couldn't tell which. Come morning, I saddled the horses.
I won't leave you hanging.
But if we help you, don't forget about our reward. Perhaps you have some ancient or consecrated item?
Don't worry about that, we won't forget. The main thing is that we find who is to blame.
Have you had any arguments with the Vodinoy?
With the Vodinoy, he doesn't give us any trouble in the factory. I'm a God-fearing man. We offered our Vodinoy vodka and baked treats.
All right, I'll take a look at your factory.
I organized transportation for you. They'll get you to the station. There, the manager will show you the way to the factory. Go as soon as you're ready. I'll go on ahead. Well, see you soon.
God himself sent him, Vasya. There you will break your seal. If only I had some Kupala salve, I could get there instantly. Oh, well, when Kupala comes, I'll get the required herbs. Get to it.
Cherdyn, 100 verst. Solikamsk, 22 verst. Ustyrolka, 10 verst.
A restless mischief of magpies is circling the telegraph post. The white collars of these birds flicker in the moonlight. You read a black zagavar. One of the birds drops dead at your feet. The other birds scatter with a chatter.
This cart has seen better days. Fedka, go shoot some magpies on the street. I'm sick of their calling.
The persistent neighing of a horse can be heard from the stables. When you come closer, you see a black shadow shuffling around the end.
Oh, a witch! Do your folk have a coven here, or something?
Why do you torture the animal? A Sosietko is supposed to look after the horses, not torture them.
So you see me? What of it? This animal is the wrong color. It's not like that of the master.
The color is wrong. What color do you require?
Oh, I'd be happy even with a small, puny horse, but it should be the same color of the master's beard. If I waste this one, he'll buy a new one.
I'm telling you as one Susietka to another. Do you see that girl's book?
Of course I do.
So if you're such a specialist in colors, take a look at its cover. All the Zagavars in there are for getting rid of Susietkas. Believe me, I know.
My, oh my.
The domovoi hisses like an angry cat. The spirit jumps off the horse and disappears into a dark corner of the stables.
So I rolled up a cigarette. And then I tell him, spicing it up with curses. Then he crowed and disappeared. Happened this year in the hunting season.
Was he also asking about your daughter?
Come on, Your Excellence. Every knowledgeable passerby thinks he has to pull my leg.
God bless.
God bless.
The nobleman glances at you, flushes red, and nods in a restrained manner.
There aren't any horses at the station.
Really? And what about your Sivka?
The Susetko's been riding that one for 7 nights straight. She doesn't let anybody near. You have to wait for fresh post horses. They're due in the morning.
And listen to Samson's tall stories. My name is Alexander. My companion is none other than the station caretaker.
My name is Vasilisa. I'm going to the Uzbarovsk factory.
You won't make it far without a carriage at this hour. We can play some cards while we wait. Where are you from?
From Vilgard. I have business at the factory. The horses could bring me only as far as this station.
The locals perhaps are afraid of riding in the direction of the factory.
Well, what do you expect? The factory is haunted, and now demons have snipped the telegraph lines. What a mess. At this rate, we'll be left without a Tsar.
Did the demons cut the lines or what?
Who else?
According to you, the demons are to blame for everything. Is winter also their doing?
You bet. Have you heard of Shulikons?
I know about them. And I know for a fact that the winter is not their doing. It's sullen.
Really?
So what happened to the telegraph?
Who knows? The monitor came, took the horses. Told me he was going to fix them. Took the stableman as well.
Samson says the spirits are to blame. He says all sorts of superstitious things.
Try living by the forest as long as I have. You'd see stranger things.
What about you, Alexander? Where are you going?
I'm going to Logovo village. I'm a doctor. Studied in St. Petersburg. The doctor there has his hands full. A difficult case. We've been exchanging letters.
I know a little about folk medicine. What happened here?
A witch doctor. A noble trade, but not as effective as the scientific approach. Well, listen. The peasant girl developed a kind of emaciation. She can't sleep at night, hallucinates.
What do the people say?
The usual things. Curses, kolduns.
I know how to deal with that. Perhaps I could help you.
There's no curse there. I mean, are there even such things? There's a sick girl in Logovo village. Come, I'll be waiting for you. I'll be in the village.
What have you heard about the factory?
It used to be a fine factory. Before the devil came, people started to disappear. There's always some witchery going on.
Was it before the recent disappearances?
I heard the same thing from the peasants. They say it's a bad place.
That's right. Everyone knows the mills are all haunted. Why would the factory be any different?
Just don't go in the water if you can't swim.
He told me about other cases.
Well, there's no lack of misfortune. Pahom sure had it tough. Then all these problems with the brine started.
Now they tell me more salt walkers are disappearing. God is punishing them.
Or the devil. Oh, Vasilisa. So, how's the horse?
I'll go check on your livestock. Maybe I can calm it down.
Go on. His Excellence also has places to go. He's been waiting. Oh, Vasilisa. So, how's the horse?
I managed to calm the animal down. I made arrangements with the Susietko.
Well, what do you know? All right. I'll get you where you need.
Thank you for not sharing any more of these wonderful stories.
They aren't stories, that's what happened.
The caretaker points in the direction of Ust-Urolka, and the cart with Alexander in it departs to Logova village. As you plan your next moves, you're interrupted by a shadow that appears suddenly on the road. For a moment, the shadow stops, but then quickly approaches you. Soon, a peasant stands before you with a heavy club in his hands.
Who goes there?
I'm from Vilgard. I'm headed to the salt works.
Cross yourself first!
You make the sign of the cross over yourself.
Phew, I thought I'd run into a demon. That kind wouldn't be willing to bless itself. I was sent for a night watch from Ust-Barovsk village. Shorts are bothering folk at the factory. You're heading there?
Well, yes. I'm an oar from Cherdyn. I'd like to help.
A witch? I'd better get going.
What did you hear about the missing people?
Gone without a trace. At first, we thought they'd gone on a drinking binge. But no, they went missing during their night watch. I heard there was a thick fog on those nights. Looked like a river overflowing.
What have you heard about the missing salt?
I heard it went missing long ago. Must be some thieves.
Could it be Chorts?
Could be. Oh, kingdom of the Lord. I used to be a salt walker once. See? Ears are all eaten away. Better ears than the immortal soul, though.
Well, God bless you.
Sharp pine trees overhang the road like the legions of demons you've seen in many icons at the Church of the Trinity. You nearly jump. The forest darkness is torn apart by a flaming whirlwind hurtling over the trees. You run after the fiery whirlwind. You think that you've lost it, but then see it above the trees again. The chase leads you to Logova village. The fiery omen circles the chimney of one of the houses, and then vanishes. You knock on the door of the izba, next to which you saw a fiery image vanish. Alexander opens the doors. Inside, the doctor has already prepared the remedies. Among the bottles, you notice several old candles.
I didn't expect you to answer the invitation. But come in. Here is the sick girl.
On a bench under the icons lies an emaciated woman. Her eyes are open, but clearly do not see. She whispers abrupt phrases.
He'll come. He'll be back. He'll be back.
What are you talking about? Who are you waiting for?
Vanya, he's back. I know it.
It seems that this woman is delirious after several sleepless nights.
This Vanya, is he presumed dead?
He's alive! Alive! I've seen him. He's well, except for his missing spine.
Her husband was killed in action. The news came not so long ago, they say.
I saw a demon near the village.
That's the tales of Samson. They make you see things.
No, I think evil spirits has a hand in this.
Of course they did.
Don't believe me? I know for sure a demon's at fault. The demon comes to the girl in the image of her dead husband. It drains her of her life force and can lead to her death. What spirit is to blame for her sickness? Could a Susietko be trying to strangle her at night? No, it's more likely that the fiery snake is at fault. It all fits. The dead man, the visions, the lack of a spine. He must be close right now.
Close? Yes, he's here. Soon my Vanya will come.
When did she fall ill?
The local doctor first wrote to me about her several months ago.
A long time. We won't cure her with words at this point. There's this type of chort. They take the form of the dead and visit the living. They can also look like their husbands. We need to ambush the chort that's been haunting her. If we get on the stove, he won't notice us. You'll see it with your eyes if you're close.
This is madness.
If we don't do this, the woman will soon follow her husband. No powders will make her better. Besides, they say that educated men like to put everything to the test.
Alexander reluctantly agrees and gets on top of the stove. You don't wait long. Sparks fly out of the mouth of the stove, and out crawls a pale chort with cow's hooves. For a moment, you think you hear Alexander whispering protective zagavers. However, you have no time to think. You need to decide what to do next.
Hey, you demon! Come again yesterday!
All the streak in the book. Who's there on the stove?
Why do you torture this girl with a fiery snake? Get out while you still can!
You guessed it.
That's what I think.
That's enough. The stove won't stop me. I'll get you.
The chort turns into a sheaf of sparks. You jump off the stove and draw a circle. The chort breaks out with a brilliant flame and disappears into the stove. It won't return to this izba, but it's better for you to prepare for your next encounter with it. You inspect the sick girl. She looks a bit less pale. Her strength is gradually returning to her. Alexander thanks you modestly and prepares to set off. The young man avoids looking at you. It seems his meeting with the demon had a profound effect on him. He reluctantly admits that he whispered some prayers while sitting on the stove. The telegraph wires stretch between the poles like the strings of a giant spindle. The wooden structures look alien, and the grim trees around them seem to glare at them reproachfully. By the road, you notice a couple arguing in a lively manner.
Oh, Lord! How do I even begin my journey there? My lord, I'm scared. Did you hear what they were saying on the station?
I'll show you, scared.
Good evening.
Let God arise, and his foes vanish.
Oh, damn you. Who goes there?
My name is Vasilisa. I'm going to the Ustyrolsk factory.
Good lord. Why are you roaming around at night? We're up to our necks as it is. I'll get this Samson. He scared all the neighborhood.
I'm telling you, I saw it with my own eyes. Under the poles, the tracks are human, and then they turn into hoof tracks. I'm not going there. You go if you need it.
Mind who you're talking to. I'm the monitor.
Come here tomorrow. I'm sure it won't be as haunted in the morning.
I can't. The supervisors will skin me alive. I've been told to find the source of the problem and fix it.
What were those tracks? Perhaps it was some animal.
No animal walks barefoot. When the chief told me about the telegraph, I went over there, and I find this thing. So I ran.
I'm not afraid of chorts. I can go there and check.
Well, if my worker doesn't want to, I leave it to you. As a reward, you'll receive his daily wage.
Fine by me. I wait here. Keep the money.
All right. I'll be back soon as I deal with the chorts.
The murmur of the Chornaya River can be heard amidst the darkness. You also hear several voices nearby. A prickly sensation on your back tells you they belong to the spirits. You sneak closer and draw a circle. You can see several foggy spirits sitting on the bank. As soon as you read the first Zagavar, one of the figures disappears into the river. The rest of the demons approach you. stone by the water, you notice a wet comb. You leave the river behind and go back on the road to Ust-Barovsk. You have goosebumps, a sign of a devilish presence. You look around. Your own...
Seek me out, girl, and I will grant you knowledge. I can help you.
The rod is an old one. It's dry. It hasn't rained for a long time. There's a candle stop over here. Here's the torn cable. Just like that man told me, bare feet turn to hooves.
The road leads to the village. In the distance, you seem to discern the settlement lights. The road leads to the village. In the distance, you see... Despite the late hour, the peasants aren't sleeping. Almost all of the residents of this small village have gathered on the street. The discussion quiets down once they notice your figure on the road.
Good evening. Where are you heading?
Good evening to you, good people. The telegraph manager sent me to inspect.
Oh, the demons tore it down. Did you see that?
Yes,
Well, if you saw it, off you go. It's dangerous here. The place is haunted. Who knows what else?
I saw the torn wire. I haven't seen any demons, though. There was some strange tracks near the pole.
Well, what do you expect from a demon?
Strange that they stayed there in this dry weather.
Well, it's a chort we're talking about. He leaves his tracks where he wants.
I also found a candle end by the road, as if this chort burned candles.
Must have fallen off wagon. These things happen.
Enough with this nonsense! Too many strange things near that pole. Not the sort of strange things that are done by chorts. It was you who broke the telegraph.
Oh, spare us, kind woman. I got the wire, but not out of malice. Don't tell the monitor.
Why are you sabotaging government property?
Why else? Nothing good comes of it. The Wallace monitor doesn't tell us, but we know anyway. Here, Masha's cow died, and Vasily here also got sick. So what else could be the cause if not the Poles? Everything was fine until they turned up. The demons, they fly around on this virus, so...
In his vexation, the peasant can only swing his hand. The mob mumbles approvingly.
The demons may be to blame, but not because of the telegraph, that's for sure. The monitor doesn't send demons. Khaldun's do.
You seem to be right. We won't damage the telegraph anymore.
All right, I won't tell on you. There's no sense in going to labor camps because of some wires.
Thank you, girl.
The mob hums with their approval. Someone brings a pot of fresh milk for you to take. Having noticed your approach, the monitor comes to meet you.
So, did you figure out what's wrong?
Yes, demons are at fault.
That's what I've been saying.
I know the right words, so I whispered a bit. They won't haunt the factory anymore.
Thank you. Here's the reward I promised.
Well, goodbye.
Just before dawn, the village is still, wrapped in icy dew. You're greeted by the whisper of a stream, a breath of damp wind, and the faint song of peasants who stayed up late. You pass the tranquil settlement and go to a crossroads. Looks like some chorts are hiding here. You reach the factory office. They were expecting you, and you soon meet the manager.
Ah, Vasilisa, you're here? Good.
Yes, the lurch surely helped me to get here. You could at least have sent some horses to get me.
It's not that far away.
You really don't know what's been going on? In one village, I had to defeat a fiery snake. In another village, the peasants took up cutting the wires.
That's all bad news. If I knew beforehand, I would give the coachman some money for vodka. They also get scared in the dark. Well, I'm sure it will work out. The main thing right now is to figure out what's been going on here at the factory. What's most important is to go on making salt.
I've heard that even before the disappearances, there was something strange going on.
People talk.
Can you tell me more about it?
Ah, let bygones be bygones. There was nothing of this sort. No hauntings. The brine went away, so they started talking. It was a long time ago. Nothing to do with the missing men. Besides, the brine is here again.
Did anything happen while you were gone?
Oh no, everything's fine. Thank God. I feel quite uneasy here at the factory. I'm sure it's some kind of demon.
All right, time to get to work. I'll find this factory chort.
Oh, thank you, Vasilisa. I've arranged a room for you. Rest a bit. And get to work. The lads will show you the way.
Listen, Proshka, can you see the demons at the factory with those demon eyes of yours?
Bah, evil spirits are everywhere. I'm sure we'll meet some at the factory. That doesn't mean we're always the ones to blame.
Well, actually, it usually does.
That's just the way your Khaldoons tell it. Look at me. I'm kindness and fluffiness itself.
True, but before you I saw countless chorts, but none of them were fluffy, if you will.
You just need to get to know them better.
Right.
Wake up, it's done already. Pahom wants you in his office. Are you a new salt carrier? All right, I don't have much time. Don't forget to close the door.
The workers that you meet seem to be scared, even in these early hours. You try to start a conversation, but as soon as you mention the disappearances, they cross themselves and quickly scurry away. In the factory office, you meet Pahom.
Ah, Vasilisa, come. I'll show you the factory. It's quite big. Quite a fortune we have here. Salt, as you see. But first, we will visit the pump. Alexei used to work there. Then we will visit the salt oven. Pyotr went missing there. We can go to the storehouse. A demon was seen there that night. Are you ready to go, or do you want to ask something?
Tell me about Pyotr, who worked in the salt oven.
He was gathering salt from the Tsirin that night. There wasn't any brine at first, so we started cooking later. They'll tell you more in the salt oven. Are you ready to go, or do you want to ask something?
What happened to Alexei in the pump tower?
He was the first to disappear. Happened on the first night we struck Brian. He was working then. Haven't heard of him since. Maybe they will tell you something new in the tower. Are you ready to go, or do you want to ask something?
What did you see near the salt box?
We tried to track the culprit down. We saw a shadow, but it was foggy that night. Trishka called out to it, and this shadow started thrashing about like a fish. No man moves that way. It was here, by the salt box. We load the salt onto barges here. Are you ready to go, or do you want to ask something?
I understand. Time for me to go.
A tall silhouette of a brine pump tower appears before you. It seems to hang over the factory like a watchtower. A steady hiss of the pump is heard from it.
Hey, Ivan, come over here. This is our piping master, an expert in drilling.
Ah, Pahom. Who did you bring?
A Noah from Cherdin. She's going to help us find Alexei.
So that's why her head is uncovered. Huh, a bare-headed witch. Are you out of your mind? Bringing caldons to the factory.
Hey, mind who you're talking to. Show her Alexei's things.
So we've been working here for years, just so you could bring witches around, right? What are you listening to her for? She probably doesn't know anything. Listen, pretty girl. Do you at least know what do we do on this tower?
What is this wooden tower used for? So this is the place where you cook the brine to get salt.
See what I'm talking about?
How would she know about the tower? She knows about demons, not salt. Now, bring his things.
The worker brings a bundle in which you find a piece of paper with a clumsy poem written on it.
Your fingers are like salt, your eyes deep as water, your hair is black as tar.
Look at him go.
Who could he have written this about?
Maybe he fell for a salt worker girl.
Huh, I doubt it. He'd write something about salty years then. I don't know, he never taught me anything of this sort. Well, I need to work. You need anything else?
What can you tell me about the missing guy?
What can I tell? A proper lad. And a smart one. Knows his way around the mechanism. Likes to have a drink, the rascal. Must be drinking with Peter in some pothouse. Oh, if I only catch him doing that.
What was Alexei doing in the pump tower the night he disappeared?
I put him there to look after the pump once the brine started flowing. There's nothing else to do there. He must have grown bored and went to the pothouse.
They say a demon is carrying off workers. Seen anything odd?
Yeah, a witch walking around the factory. That's what's hot.
Now you tell her what she wants.
I haven't seen anything, all right? You'll learn for yourself that there aren't no demons here.
I see. Thanks for the help.
So what do you think happened to Alexei?
For now, it's unclear. If it had been Chorts, they would have killed him on the spot. Maybe the girl from the poem knows something. So, where did he go missing? In the salt oven?
Yes, it's right here, behind the salt box. We will visit it first.
On your way to the salt oven, One of the workers calls out to Pahom and starts to question him about the disappearances. While Pahom is busy, you decide to look around.
There's a white track here, as if something was dragged. These days there's so much salt that there's sacks full of it just lying around.
We don't know what became of him yet. Go do your job.
Wait, Pahom. Tell me one more thing.
You decide to look around while the salt workers are talking.
Well, what do you know? There are huge claw marks on the salty log. This bar looks odd. Its bottom is all covered with salt. This worker is carrying one to the barn right now. It's black. I sense something bad here. Ordinary folk wouldn't notice them right away. Looks like a demon's mark.
Enough already. We need to go and you have work to do.
Wait. We stopped here for a reason. I noticed claw marks on it. The kind only the demons leave behind.
Where? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Lord have mercy.
There's something wrong with the salt box. I think I need to look inside.
A demon? In the salt box? Oh, Lord.
I need to look inside.
Well, what are you waiting for? Open it.
Listen, Pahom. Don't be angry. We've lost the keys.
Well, take some logs away then.
They've salted through heavily.
We need to open it today, before demons kill anyone else.
Do as you're told, while we go visit the salt oven.
The salt oven is submerged in unbearably hot shadow. You remember your visit to the underworld during your initiation. You shudder when you take a peek at the red-hot tsiren.
Hey you! Drop that sack! We want to ask you about Pyotr.
Good day, master.
Did you work with Pyotr? What can you tell me about him?
Well, what can I tell? I don't know. He worked hard, we all do. Well, that's it, really.
What was Pyotr doing here?
Everything, really. Cooked salt. A strong guy. Was good at hauling the sacks from down below. Now that I think about it, he was quite good at hauling salt. You have to have some skill for that. Not a drunkard.
Have you heard about the demons? Seen anything like that?
Yes, I've heard. Lord protect me. But the Lord is merciful. I haven't seen anything of the sort. Pyotr used to say that we're here like chorts in hell ourselves.
I'll show you, Jorts. Don't forget who you're talking to.
Oh, forgive me, master. I wasn't thinking.
Have you seen anything unusual?
Nothing of the sort. We're too busy working. I've heard, though, the other day, Pyotr was saying that he was going to get married.
How's that?
Yeah, I thought it strange too. I didn't know anything about him proposing, and here he tells us about this beauty. Black hair, white skin. That's the way he tells it. I think maybe he eloped with her.
It doesn't look like there are any demons here. I need to search other places.
Well, go on. I'll check up on the salt box. You, lad, come with me. Give me a hand.
It's getting dark. Hurry up, your workers.
It is dark now, but the workers are still unable to open the salt box. You see the anxiety in their eyes. Pahom paces around, giving out orders. Seems like he is worried more than the others.
Well, hurry up! The sun is gone already. The door won't budge, Mutt. Put your backs into it.
You can put your arm back into it, Pahom. Can't you see it's stuck?
What do you mean, stuck? What is this devilry?
You leave the workers and inspect the door by yourself.
The workers are trying to break down the door. I sense demonic sorcery. Break herb can help open it. Work of a demon. I think I've seen this herb somewhere near. I sense demonic sorcery. Break herb can help open it. But someone seems to be holding it from the other side.
Hold this here. Come on. Heave! Heave!
I think I know how to open this door. And I think I know what kind of demon haunts you. What evil spirits are to blame for the salt workers' disappearances? Your workers have been discussing some beauty. One of them even wanted to marry her until she, I think, killed him. Looks like there's a water spirit in the salt box.
Oh, Jesus Christ! As soon as we break down this door, I'll show that evil spirit Russian strength.
Wait, I will whisper over the door.
Step aside. Let the witch do her business.
You mouth the words of a Zagavar and apply the break herb. The door to the salt box opens. Your assumptions prove right. There's a rusalka in the salt box. With a quick motion, you draw a circle and plan your next move.
What's this, ruckus? The moon isn't up yet.
God, so many dead.
Dead? Girl, they just sleeping. Because the moon isn't up yet.
What kind of sleep is she talking about? I smell death all the way from here.
Oh, if you insist, I can wake up my friends.
No, wait. Tell me first. Why are you here, demon?
I was sent by my father, the Vodinoy. I think he wanted me to find new friends. We'll be very close, forever and ever. Just like a fir and its little branches. Am I right, boys?
The corpses steadily sway in the brine.
Why did the brine disappear in the factory? Why did it reappear?
These salt workers are lucky to have a friend as kind as I am. I give them life, love, and wealth. What more could you wish for?
To not to be drowned in brine?
I knew you wouldn't understand. What kind of demon are you anyway?
Why? What for? Why did you kill all of these workers?
Killed? They are alive. Alive forever.
That reminds me. I need to break a water seal. Your soul could prove useful.
Oh, what a pity. And I wanted to propose eternal life to you. You are very sweet. I think you and I are quite alike.
You pull out a comb that you found by the river on your way to the factory.
That's right. We are alike. Even our combs are identical.
Where did you get that, witch? I'll pry this comb from your dead hands! You won't get me with your foul sorcery. My father protects me. And without me, there won't be salt or eternal life.
The Rusalka dives into the brine and disappears. The drowners crumple lifelessly, seemingly intent on staying dead this time. Silence is all around you. You hear the sounds of a door opening behind you. Pahom found the courage to get the salt box. He's holding an icon.
Let God arise and his foes vanish.
That's it. I've banished the Rusalka.
Oh, thank God. Thank you, Vasilisa.
Too early to celebrate. She's gone, but she took all the brine with her. Get the horses ready. We need all Yegor's advice. Well, what are you waiting for? Be quick about it. We need to hurry.
Right this moment.
What's that? What's that? What in the name are you doing? You can't pat me. I'm not your cat. I'm a demon, all right?
Can't bet you. Let me tame him with a good poker hit.
Wait, what poker? Are you mad, Gramps?
Maybe that will make you a better Susetko. I have to feed you for that out of my canned heart? Yesterday, some bird flew in. I had to chase it off. Where were you then? Huh? Not a sign, you furry short.
Why, stop. Come on, you'll hate me, damn it. Be careful, Igor. All right, I get it. I will do a better job as a Susetka from now on.
That's better. Next time my hit will find its mark.
He's not the kind to spoil his children.
I know, right? What happened after you became a spirit?
Seems like I do remember. We Susetkas can see future quite well. The past we forget after a century or so. I was from Chut's tribe, I think.
You're one of the Chut? They say Chut are small and wide-eyed. And you're cats!
There are spirits like that, called Chut. People lived here, a tribe like Komi-Pyrmins, a long time ago. So, I was one of them. There was my hut, at the same place where the church was built. Or a dugout it was. I remember exactly that I lived at the same spot. They must have buried me under the threshold, so I became a house spirit. And when Isba was gone and the church appeared, then I must have moved there. A lot of things happened. I will stir my memory a bit more about how I was Susetka in that Isba. Tell you later.
So you can take any shape?
I can. A wolf or a man, take your pick. Usually don't need it though. Ordinary people see us as shadows, nothing more. The rest they imagine themselves.
Let's go. We'll talk later.
The other day, I met that woman who sells sweets. Remember her? She got a hernia this big, half the size of her face.
Why can people see demons?
Who knows? That's for God to decide. Only the knowers see demons.
Tell me what happened next. How did you become a Khaldun?
Right then. So I'm holding this head. The Chort strangled Prokopy and wanted the head back. And it was exchanged to him, mind you. So he needed to give something to me in return. I figured that one out, young as I was. So I think, what to ask for? Some money? A fancy shirt? So I figured, if I wanted to be a knower, I should think for myself. Bring me, I tell him, the black book. I'll trade it for your hat. They all disappeared, and I'm standing in the circle, waiting. The fiend was gone for a while, returned only at dawn. All covered in stretches, it wasn't easy for him to get it, but he did bring back the book. It was sealed in Sukharev Tower. It was. For how long? No one knows. So, that's how I obtained it, and became a Noah. All by myself, as you see. Come in, Pahom. We need to think about what to do next.
You share the events at the factory.
She even escaped your Zagavars. Only powerful evil spirits are able to do that. I think someone is protecting her.
This demon scared the entire factory. Even after you chased her away, the haunting continues. Some workers saw shadows in the barn. God damn them. But what should we do next? Can't we get the brine back?
We can think of something. We also need the water demons.
That Rusalka mentioned her father. Who could she be talking about?
Rusalka? Christ almighty, God help us. She mentioned her father?
Well, it's clear to me.
The Vodinoi becomes father to all evil spirits of the water. Vakul is the one we need to go to.
The salt worker grows pale.
Vakul? So the Vodinoi has something to do with it.
What did you think? You may not have dealt with him with your factory, but maybe you should have. Millers, for instance, all deal with him.
At the factory, I was doing fine with the Vodinoi that I had.
Whether you were or not, the small Vodinois are gone. This one has outsmarted them and now rules everywhere. The small ones all went into hiding, and you can't find them now. You can meet him in Hell's Lake. Pahom, go back. You can't do anything now. And you, Vasilisa, get going. Got it?
What do you know about the Vodinoi?
A powerful chort, and an old one. People say he was here before Christ and remembers the old times. He has an underwater palace, but he may speak to you on the lake.
Will you break the seal for me?
Try to convince him. I told you, you won't find any other Vodinois here. He's hard to convince, though. And I don't know if you'll be able to take him into battle. You're still weak.
What kind of lake is that?
The Permians call it Vatti. It means swampy lake. It's deep. One chort tried to measure it and lost a rope. The Russians renamed it after the hunting started. If you ask me, Hell's Lake is quite a fitting name.
I see. I'll get ready.
Well, be careful out there with him. If you strike a bargain with him, stick to it. If something goes wrong, don't panic. You have your black book. God be with you.
You have goosebumps, a sign of a devilish presence. You look around. Your only companion is humming among the silence. Suddenly, a dark figure steps out from the shade. It is a scribe, a Zagavr dealer.
Be wise and go forth. Knowledge will serve as your daily bread. What kind of wisdom do you possess? That which comes from above, or that of snakes and demons?
The sun is setting when you see the village of Verkhny Onil. You pick up the pace. You need to get to Hell's Lake before dawn. You run into an alarmed domovoi, hurrying to his izba. The spirit tells you about the chorts of the Khaldun Grishka, murdered this year. Turns out, the chorts have scattered around the area and scare everyone who goes to Hell's Lake. When you leave the village, you think of a way to outsmart them. Pale moonlight falls on rotten and broken trees. You feel the presence of leshis, or some other evil spirits. You remember the chorts of Khaldun Grishka that you heard about in the village and bypass the glade from the west. You read a simple zagavar, and the treetops start to sway as if from hurricane winds. You clap your hands and laugh. The chorts scatter in horror. Unsurprising, considering that they thought the master of the forest himself had come for them. The bravest chort came to bow to the leshi. Your circle is already drawn. A pine tree, cracked by lightning, stands by the edge of a swamp. You know that lightning can be useful, and come closer. The tree is blackened and split in two. Strangely, the air is still filled with the smell of a thunderstorm. Your search soon bears fruit. You find a thunderstone. You pluck the stone from inside the charred pine and go on your way. You enter the serene, piney woods. Soon after, you find the source of light. There is an old izba amongst the trees, leaning comfortably on a branching pine. With a quiet squeak, the door opens, and a hermit welcomes you.
I have never thought a witch would come and visit me.
Why do you think I'm a witch?
I feel evil spirits a mile away.
You're calling me an evil spirit?
Come on, don't be mad. Could Providence bring you here? Have a rest. I've put the samovar on and lit it with juniper branches. I have a request to you.
All right, bring your tea.
You drink the tea and rest a bit.
So I might be a witch, but who are you?
I'm a hermit, and this is my skeet. I live here, far from worldly things, and serve God. There's plenty of holy saints, and the simple folk have plenty of troubles. So I pray here for the holy spirits to help our people with their troubles. I hope they can hear me.
What's your request?
I think you can handle it. Some hunters recently passed by here, but they never left, even after the ice drift. I followed them. Their camp isn't far from here. Their things are all in disarray, as if they never left in the spring. But there's no sign of them. I felt evil spirits there, but I haven't seen anyone. Please, find where the demons kidnapped them.
Camp is to the south, you say? I may drop by to find out what happened to them. Show me the way.
Listen, witch. Try to get off this road. There's nothing but trouble for you at its end.
You follow the directions of the hermit and soon come to a clear glade. You notice fir branches and a gap fire. It's clear that the hunters camped here. It's unclear where the hunters have gone off to. There's nothing you can do but continue on your way to the lake. Some of the hunters' things are still scattered about here. You manage to find one of their clumsily written diaries and a small pouch with silver rubles. You take the old pouch. It's difficult to make out anything from the illiterate scrawlings of a peasant. They consist mainly of hunting observations and notes. Your attention is drawn to a strange passage. February. Old man knocked on the door. Frozen. Started dying during the night. Suffered long. Maybe a Khaldoon. Died only in the morning. Would be better if I took down the main beam. February later. Going home soon. Bad sleep at night. Something makes noise in the dark. Scary. February later. Yvonne disappeared at night. Going home. Everyone scared. This is the last entry.
The axe is covered in rust. Tracks. They glow blue. Some chort has been here. I can follow them. He might be the one who carried the hunters away. The gap fire has almost completely burned out. No one leaves fires like this behind in the forest.
Some of the hunters' things are still scattered about here. It's difficult to make out anything from the illiterate scrawlings of a peasant. They consist mainly. It's difficult to make out anything from the illiterate scrawlings of. You've found traces of the evil spirits, and now can go searching for the missing hunters. A foul silence hovers over the shed. You take a step and wince. A dry branch under your foot breaks with a loud crack, like a dry bone. The rotten stairs lead inside. You notice a sweet stench. The Eretnik collapses lifelessly. It seems to be a Khaldun that's been buried improperly. With a heavy heart, you cut the tendons on his feet and leave him for the crows to feast. He won't be able to walk among the living now. You remember the hunter's notes. It seems like the dead man took vengeance on the peasants for his violent death. No one inherited his knowledge or tried to relieve his suffering by dismantling the Izba's ceiling. You sigh and hope that when your time comes, you will not meet the same fate. A foul stream runs through the swamp. You notice two figures sitting on a stone beside it. Through the silence of the night, you hear cold laughter and a muted conversation. You head for Hell's Lake. You hear a single splash behind you, and then the forest is once again filled with silence. You effortlessly find the fishermen's camp. The peasants have already built a fire and are preparing for a night of fishing.
Oh, Christ almighty! What are you doing here? I thought the Rusalka had returned to spoil our nets again. There's no water dripping from your dress, though.
Good evening. I'm looking for a boat to get me to the lake.
Are you out of your mind, girl? How did your Balshak let you out of the house in the first place?
I am not out of my mind, actually. I need to get to the center of the lake to talk to the Vodyanoi.
Vodyanoi? We've already caught some fish. Why don't you go on your own way?
So you weren't going anywhere? This fisherman is lying to me. What's wrong? Why did you light the brazier on the boat Pro then?
All right, you got us. We're going fishing. We'll take you, but keep silent. Step into that boat as soon as you're ready. We'll get you to where you need to be.
This fire attracts the fish.
You come upon the fisherman's belongings. One of them left his wallet among the ropes. Unnoticed, you take the money and step away from the fisherman's things.
I wouldn't call this Hell's Lake.
You can get on a boat and set off to the meeting with the Vodyanoi.